Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about a very extremely powerful hook, useTransition, and I will explain that hook's implementation with an example. So let's start. So here I have created a component already. It is very simple, very basic component. So like for example, this is something that we do when we have a form. Like we have inputs to collect the data, and then we have a submit button, and this is the handle submit function, which has the following logical implementation. So like to control everything inside the handle submit method, we had to create three separate states. The first one is the state in which I'm storing the name, which I'm entering here. The second one is the state I'm storing the error if this returns an error, which it will never do, but I am considering a realistic scenario where we can also have errors. So I need one more state to store the errors. Now we need a third state to know whether the submission is in loading state or is in pending state. So there is a third state for that. Now what useTransition hook do is, now I'm going to implement. What it's basically going to do is, see, I have this promise which is going to be get resolved in 2 seconds. So basically here I have this condition that if we are in pending state, then it will show loading, and otherwise it will show submit. So currently with this behavior I can just write a name and then click on submit. So basically it won't do anything, but what happened is it ran this promise for 2 seconds, and after that it again came back to the default state. So now basically I feel that just to submit a form and just to perform this action, I think like there is a awful lot of logic and lines of code, boilerplate, that we have written here. So basically useTransition hook, what it's going to do is going to reduce the number of states and reduce the number of boilerplate code that we write, and eventually perform the same action. So basically let me import it. So let me import useTransition hook from React. One thing you guys need to remember is this is I am currently on React19 RC version, because currently it is not like available as the normal version. So it is now the RC version. You can also upgrade it to the React19 to use all the hooks that React19 provides out of the box. Now this useTransition hook basically provides the first argument as is pending. So we can name it anything, but this basically provides us the pending state, whether that promise or async operation is in loading state or pending state, or it has been resolved. So basically first thing is going to be the pending state, and second thing is going to be a function when we want to start the transition. So basically I can name it anything again, but I will name it start transition. Alright, now I have this transition hook imported, I have this pending and start transition. Now see, here what I'm doing is I'm manually setting the pending state to true, and then again manually setting the pending state to false at the end of the API call, or whatever the async operation that we are performing. So we don't need to do that basically. So what I'm going to do is remove all of these manual settings of loading states. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to call the start transition function here. So basically inside that we have to do an async operation. So I write the async, and basically after this I can put my entire code, whatever I have in the submit function. I can just cut it from here and just put it right inside the start transition function like this. Alright, now let me remove the state because like we don't need this state anymore. So I have removed the state, and let me save this. Now see, here I have never set the pending state to true and never set the pending state to false. This transition hook is going to take care of the pending state by itself, and we don't need to worry about it. We just need to put our async logic inside of the start transition method. So now basically this pending state will update by itself and let us know whether this async operation is in progress and has completed or not. So now I'm already using this variable which shows loading and otherwise submit. So basically I'm gonna save this change, and then again I'm going to write a name and then click on submit. So you can see it again did the same thing. It ran for 2 seconds, and now you can see that we didn't have to set the pending states manually to true and false, every time the transition starts, the async operation starts, and every time the async operation ends. So I think this hook is very handy, and I think it avoids all the boilerplate code in the number of lines that we write. So I think it's a better way, an optimized way to perform operations like that instead of setting the loading states by itself. So thank you so much for watching that video. Please let me know in the comments if you have any question or doubt.